friends, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today with a journal flip through for you. This is my latest journal. It is sort of a warm and cozy theme. I'd say that it's relatively feminine, and it's the kind of journal that I could see myself writing in, like on a nature walk or in the early morning or at bedtime even. It's just kind of has this really sort of comfy, cozy theme. And I don't know, this book, I guess with its nice red, it's a vintage book and its nice red cover and the gold embossing on it, it just really gave me that kind of like vibe, like a sunset relaxed kind of vibe. I don't know. So there are elements in this book from all sorts of things. I would say there's a few elements of Green Gables, as I used a bit of a Green Gables journal to make some of the ephemera. There is, I just pulled this out to show you, there's a gold eyelet in front and back, and that's how it closes, and it's gold seam binding. Both the spine and the book front itself are embossed, and this is a book by Frances Hodgson Burnett, a collection of stories, and I will go through those with you. It's, I believe, Little Lord Fauntleroy, a Little Prince, and one more. I forget which one, but we'll see as we go through. Maybe I've spent a little too much time with this book that I'm forgetting. So this is the inside cover. And so the end papers that I've got here are from the original book. So these were actually the fly pages in the book, which were the same as the original book end pages. But I've added a fabric binded, strengthened spine, so that I ended up using the new papers here to cover the ends of the book. And you'll see this little tiny playing card here. That is a recurring theme throughout the book, because I was thinking about, like, what are the comforts, like what are some of life comforts? And I think about, playing cards with my grandmother, and like I think that's kind of a cozy thing to do on a rainy day. So there are, throughout this book, several of these little cards kind of splattered around. This is a really beautiful piece of scrapbook paper that I've used to create just sort of a fold pocket on the side here, and it's very sparkly. I don't know if you can see the sparkles and the fine lines, but it's a very pretty paper. And then inside there's this journal card, and it's just this beautiful Victorian couple kind of in this rose garden, and I've added some lace to it. It's just kind of another one of those cozy feeling images. And then a little from the library of card, so you could write your name on there if you wanted to, or use it as a journal card. So on this side we have some lace. So I've added lace to each of the first pages of each signature, front and back. And I've used a kit in this journal also that really fit the theme for me. This is the first page of it here, and you'll see it throughout the book. It is the start of every signature, of which there are 5 in this book. And this is from Ephemera's Garden on Etsy, and it's called Rain's Embrace. And I thought that was so perfect, because part of me, I guess, associates this journal a little bit with like a rainy day, cozy writing. So it's pretty perfect. So this lace is beautiful. It is a vintage lace, and it has flowers all on it here. And the little pocket here is of a painting of a beautiful cottage. And inside we have this journal card of this little girl, and it's like a painting. It's really pretty. So that just pops on inside there. And some stenciling, indigo dyed paper, and a little cluster here with this little rooster. I just thought he was cute. And then this is a flip out with some beautiful flowers. There's a few of these pages throughout from this. This is actually a botanical journal, sort of about, it's called Vancouver is a Garden. And so it's about different kind of nice gardens and places that have beautiful foliage in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. And then this is a coffee dye doily at the bottom here, and that's a flip out. This is avocado dyed dot paper. And then this is one of the original pages from the book. with a little bit of coffee dyed paper and some nice vintage themed washi tape. And on this side, we have a little pocket down here. And this is, again, an original illustration from the book. And this is a journal card made by, or made from a vintage bird guide. And I thought the pink was really nice. It kind of pulls the pink everywhere on the page. And on the back, I actually used a vintage book page that just says, "To Edie." And on this side, this is actually a macro photography image of a flower. This is a beautiful book of that theme, macro flower photography. And I've done some stenciling on the page and a bit of an olive branch sticker here. And this is a pocket that's made from a children's book. And then this is a tag. It's just a beautiful botanical image, kind of a purple theme going on this page. This is avocado dyed paper, and I've added tabs to each of the signatures. So this is the first one, and you'll see again a playing card. I've added those to all of the tabs. And this is a crinkly fall leaf page. It's just a nice texture in the book. Another of those little cards there. And this is a pocket with these two geese on it, and inside is this deer journal card. And it's on an original book page. And here we have a pocket. You see an original illustration from the book and another little card and this black feather on the pocket. And then this is a tag that I made, Woodland Song, and it's just a little girl looking up at a tree. It has some fabric on it on the top and some sort of lattice and floral, what's the word I'm looking for? Stenciling. And then this is actually from another kit, and I forget the Etsy shop I got this one from, but it's I believe called Whimsical, and it's just a really nice central image for the inside of this signature. More stenciling. And this is a tag that I made and used it as a tuck spot. It's covered in fabric, but it's made from bubble mailer envelope, so it has like a nice poofy texture to it. And inside is this tag that I made, Victorian kind of theme, and it says "Lovely roses of purest white and deepest red," and it has some fabric collaging and the matching fabric with the tuck spot. And this is an original book page. And then paper clipped onto this side of the original book page, The Secret Garden. That's the other story that I forgot to mention at the beginning. This is On the Way to the Wild Woods, and it's from a children's book, and I just thought it was a really cozy kind of image, and it really matches this fall page, and I've added some nice lace at the top here. Oops. And this is avocado dyed paper. And the other side of that macro photography image of that beautiful flower. More stenciling and another of the little cards. And then this is a pocket with some florals, and it has like a castle and a swan on it. It's actually from a story, The Wild Swans, and a little bit of collaging. On back, this is an original book page, but I've added some starry kind of background for just a little contrast to make the pocket stand out. And this is a journal tag that I made from the Anne of Green Gables book. That's where the teacup comes from. And then I've added some lace here and this floral sticker and a little poem called The Woodlark. And on this side we have, excuse me, an original library card from a library book. And it was from A Child's Garden of Verses. And so I've added this little kind of fairy sticker. I've added some lace at the bottom. And inside, or at the back, we've got that sparkly paper again for a bit of detail. Then this is a journal tag that I made from Pink Monarch Designs on Etsy. And I've added some gold leaf at the top. And this is avocado dyed paper. This is another of those Pink Monarch sort of tags, but I've used it as a side tuck. And this is more of that Vancouver is a Garden botanical paper, little card there. And this is from the original book cover of this Frances Hodgson Burnett book. It is just a little paper journal card. I always like to include as much of the original book in these kinds of journals that I make. Another page from Vancouver is a Garden of this beautiful forest. And then this is an over-the-page journal card that's on with a rusty paper clip. So I've stitched on this, these are poppy seed cones. Essentially, after the leaves fall off the poppy, or the petals rather, this is what you're left with. And that's been stitched on. So it's like a double journal card. And this is indigo dyed paper, and this just tucks over top like so and stays on with a rusty paper clip. Then this is a stenciled page, so this nice kind of doily, and there's lace on the edge here again, and I've made a pocket on both sides with that nice sparkling paper from the front of the book. And this is a pocket, and then you'll see on both sides again more images from the Rain's Embrace kit. And this is The Secret Garden, one of the stories in this book. I just made this upper tuck kind of journal tag with a little whale tail tab here and this peach plant, and I've put it on this nice it's scrapbook paper with this really pretty peachy and green theme, and that just tucks up in here. And then on this side we have another pocket, and it has a bit of an embellished paper ribbon there, and again a nice page from the Rain's Embrace kit. And this is a journal card that I made from an original book illustration, and you'll see the nice blue lace that's stitched on with pink thread on this side. This is a stenciled page and an avocado dyed page with a tab with one of the little playing cards on the side. And down here we have another little pocket made from that same sparkling paper, and it's on the paper from Vancouver is a Garden. This one has daffodils, and this is a tag that I made also from paper from that Rain's Embrace kit, and I've added the Mistress Mary Quite Contrary poem on the front. That just tucks into this little tuck spot. And on this page, this is a page from Vancouver is a Garden, and I've painted it with a pearlescent pink paint, so that's why it looks shiny. And there's a little pink floral label here. But then up above, there's another extra writing space. It's a flip up, and it has this cute little finch. And then on the front, it's actually a page from Anne of Green Gables with a little framed picture of a blackbird. And on this page, this is an original book image, and I've just made a little label down here that says Violet. And then this is a fun piece of ephemera that I made. It has a window here made from clear plastic, and so you pull this tag out, and there's a little bit of lace here. This whole thing has been collaged, and this is from an old book. It says Some Unfinished Poems and Fragments, 1876 to 1889, and this is a poem called Moonrise, and this is on an original book page from A Little Princess, and this is the tag that I made to go inside it, kind of this beautiful lady in this amazing dress, a very Victorian feeling tag, and it has lace on top that matches the lace in this signature. Another little playing card on avocado dyed paper, and some mushrooms. And this is another of those whimsical pages. I just thought they're really pretty and fun, and they have thistles and nice poppy seeds and things. This has been stenciled. This is a little image from a vintage garden book. It's kind of a blueprint of a perennial garden and the names of the flowers in the garden. More of the indigo dyed paper. This page is stenciled. It's original book page. And then on this page, which is, this is a handmade paper with fine little pieces of silk thread in it. And paper clip to the top, there's this journal card. And this was an image from an Anne of Green Gables journal, and then I found this little poem that I think goes pretty perfectly with it, because it's like a stack of quilts and linens on a bedside table with a lamp, and it says, there's a tiny little table and a tiny little bed and a tiny little pillow for a tiny little head. And then on back, a tiny little blanket and a tiny little sheet and a tiny water bottle, hot for tiny little feet. So if that doesn't make you want to cozy up and just, yeah, journal and have a nice hot water bottle on a rainy day, I don't know it does. So then inside this signature, which is the second signature, I've added this beautiful little doily that's been embroidered. And this is the other side of the handmade paper with the little silk threads. And then this is from the original book, Little Lord Fauntleroy. It's kind of the book plate for that story. And that's the original illustration. And then this is indigo dyed paper with one of the little playing cards there. And the other side of that perennial garden plan. More stenciling. And the other side of that whimsical page. And this is avocado dyed paper with a little playing card. And then this is a pocket with sort of a little white house in the trees. This is from Anne of Green Gables, and this is on one of the original book pages. And I made a tag from the original book page, and it's this little girl here, and there's a little robin there. So I added little robin redbreast and some lace on the top and a little bit of leaves at the bottom. And that's been stitched around and inked. This is an original book plate, and this is from Vancouver is a Garden. This is avocado dyed paper with a little playing card there, and more stenciling. Then this is the center of the second and third signature. So again, it's the Rain's Embrace kit, and I've just added this kind of flip for extra little writing space on these beautiful sweet oranges. And then on this side, paper clipped on, we have this is a vintage garden card for the florist chrysanthemum, but on back I backed it so that you could write on it. And that is what the page itself looks like, with some pink ribbon down the side. It's kind of a really beautiful, I don't know if I would call it lace. It's trim, really. It's really pretty, though. Stenciling, and this is shibori dyed paper with cabbage dye. And this is some handmade paper with little tiny blue flecks of thread. Then this is two tuck spots that I've made on this is a Victorian address book page. So you see telephone here, and it's lined paper. So this is from a greeting card, the same one with the sweet oranges. And I've used this little bee up at the top and then the oranges here at the bottom just for two tuck spots. So then I made this little journal card for a little princess with this gold botanical on top, and that is an original book page title. So that just goes in behind here, and then you just kind of flip this up and tuck it in both. And then this is a little thistle card. This is from a kit from my Porch Prints on Etsy. Just tuck that in there. So this page is the Victorian address book. Then on this side we have a belly band on vintage wallpaper, and this is sort of a nice green fabric in the back, and there's lots of trims and laces, a woven piece on top, and some organza with gold leafing in the back. Then I've stitched 4 vintage buttons there, and then this is a side sort of tucking journal card. It's made from the original book page, and it says full of curiosity, and there's a little rose here, and it's this cute little girl. She's looking in at this doll, and I've added some lace on the side to kind of pull it in and out. And on back, this is actually another book plate from another vintage book from 1930. I thought it was just a fun kind of journal card backing, so that can tuck in there. Then on this side we have some stenciling and an original book page with a tab with the little joker card there. And on this side, this page just makes me happy overall. I think it's a nice contrast. This is a botanically eco-printed page with eucalyptus, and I made these on watercolor paper. And then this is a fun piece of ephemera that I made that I just feel like it just goes really well together. So this is all collage, and it's just really pretty. It's all been stitched around. This is a plastic window that's actually 2 layers of plastic. It's trapping milkweed seeds. So you'll see the little brown seeds here, and hopefully you can see the milkweed, the little tiny pieces that are inside of there. They're kind of like little tiny tendrils of like a white floaty kind of plant, if you're not familiar with milkweed. So that's like a pocket, a large pocket, and then inside it is this journal tag that I made. This is a Pink Monarch Prints digital print, and then this is a little fairy here and some lace on top. So that just tucks down in here, and you see her through the window, but there's kind of like a fogginess to it, so it makes it kind of like mysterious. And then the back side of that printed page, you really see a lot of the effects of the iron from these rusty cogs that I use when I make this paper. And then this is just a nice piece of scrapbook paper with some light pink and brown lines that just really kind of go well. This is from the Anna Green Gables journal, and it's really nice. It's just like a little kind of diary entry. There's some sheep up here and trees on the side. And it says, "In these pages I find solace. This is my place, my time, my thoughts. Let me see the world as Anne Shirley did when she said, 'Isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet?' I imagine myself at Green Gables where anything is possible and hope soars freely. With each new day I'll raise my chin, count my blessings, and reach for the stars." Donna Green, Prince Edward Island, July 1996. And on back is this beautiful image, sort of this Anna Green Gables house with the beautiful wallpaper, and there's a little shell there. This is the book plate from A Little Princess, and this is the center of the signature, and I just kept the whole Little Princess sort of book page. And this side is another of the book pages, and it's just this little girl with a shovel, and the boy is playing a flute with a crow sitting on his shoulder and a little fox there under this beautiful tree. And then I've made another pocket with lace with that sparkly paper from the front of the book. And it actually is another Anna Green Gables page, and it's a flip out. So on this side you have a little pocket with this little tiny journal card with some leaves, and there's a basket of yarn there. So that tucks up in here, and then that folds in. And then this is from a vintage botanical book. I just made a journal card from it. I thought it was just a beautiful painting. And that just pops in here. Then on this side, we've got some nice flowers. This is from the Anne of Green Gables journal. It says, "What a splendid day. I pity people who aren't born yet for missing it. They may have good days, of course, but they can never have this one." And this is just that peachy colored paper, and on back with the lines in the peachy pink and brown. This is more of my botanical paper, eucalyptus leaves. This is the book plate from Little Lord Fauntleroy. And stenciling. And then paper clipped on here. These pages kind of go, of course, together. I sometimes make spreads where I just want the whole thing to work, you know, together. And then this is vintage wallpaper. So this is from a vintage cookbook, and it's a recipe for bird's nest pudding. Because I thought, like, you know, making food and especially desserts is another one of those cozy activities. And then on this side I've added this bird's nest, and it's on the Victorian address book paper, and then a little Victorian girl painting from a vintage book with a tab at the bottom. So it's just a kind of a push-up journal card. And then that's more of the Victorian address book and some handmade paper. This is shibori dyed cabbage dyed paper. Stenciling. And then on this side I've added this large wide lace on top of the Rain's Embrace kit. There's trim here and sparkly lace on this side. So on this side I've made this little booklet. This is from my Porch Prints, and it's just a beautiful botanical kit, and it's like a little booklet. It says this is the all of the botanicals on top of like some text. It's just really pretty, and it's filled with my own hand-dyed avocado paper. Then on this side, I've made this tag, and it's kind of got these flippy kind of layers to it. So it's a botanical tag with collage, some vintage music, and this is some of my eco-dyed fabric on top in the tag. And then this is a vintage photo from the 1940s, I believe. This one, let me double check my list here. Yeah, it's from the 1940s. And it's just kind of like a mom and her little girl, and they just look like they're standing outside on a fall day. It's just really beautiful. And the back has been all inked up, and then there's two things that tuck in here. So I made this little journal card. This is the Queen of Hearts, but it actually has the Queen of Diamonds on it because the Queen of Hearts is elsewhere in the journal. And just this fun Victorian image. And then I just loved this. This isn't from an art magazine, and it's just kind of like these two, they just remind me of like nannies, or like two nans or two aunts, or like, you know, two moms just kind of laughing. And I thought that was just a kind of fun, warm feeling little journal card. So that just tucks in there. Some stenciling, some cabbage dyed paper with some lines. This is vintage wallpaper, digital, and on this side it's been stenciled, and there's another of the little cards, another on this tab of the cards, and this is avocado dyed paper. This is just some beautiful scrapbook paper in that nice kind of paisley, peachy and green. Then on this side I've just added this. This is just a piece of vintage ephemera. It's like a book list with the library book numbers that someone has written. I got it in just a whole group of vintage books that I purchased from an estate sale, and there were some nice handwritten bits and bobs in it, so I included that. And this is the book plate from The Secret Garden with a little playing card there. And that's the book plate from The Secret Garden. So this is from the Anna Green Gables journal, and I just did a little bit of avocado dyed paper kind of strip collaging and added another flower there so it would be more flowery and fun. And on this side I included Anne. Then that's just Easter egg dyed paper, and this is from the Victorian address book, and it has this beautiful picture of a chair here with the roses on a lattice trellis. And then this is an original book page from the book. And on this double spread I did, this is actually silk, and it's got this beautiful like hibiscus, maybe no, cherry blossom, I'm sorry, cherry blossom fabric. Both sides are the original book page. On this side we have a tag from the original book page, and I've used the same fabric up top. Then on this side, at the back, I added this little Victorian doll just because it's cute. And then this is a postcard of Grand Central Depot, New York. And another of the original book pages. This is from the Victorian address book, and it's this lady sitting sort of in the weeds, maybe the wildflowers outside of a mill. And then there's a little vintage playing card on coffee dyed paper. And this is a lined page from the Anne of Green Gables journal, just with some stones and things here. And I made a pocket with some lace and another of those little cards up here. And this is another little thistle tag, and that just tucks in there. An image of a rocking chair, and then I just left this one alone. It says There's No One Left, and it's a chapter from the original book. I wanted to leave just one page with the nice illustration, and then the book page on the back. And this is scrapbook paper, again, that beautiful peachy color, and then avocado dyed paper, another little playing card, and some stenciling. This is vintage wallpaper and cabbage dye paper with the little playing card. Cabbage dyeing and stenciling and some lace. And then I left this alone. It's just the kit from Ephemera's Garden of the Rain's Embrace. And I thought I would leave one without any ephemera on it in case you might want to stick photos or something like that. And there's lace on both sides. This is some stenciling, and then the book plate from The Secret Garden. More stenciling. And this is a pocket that's been made actually from, this is a book that's based on, oh, what's it called? I forget, oh no, Edith Holden, I'm sorry. So Edith Holden illustration. This is a book about stenciling in her style. So there's these lovely swallows here. This kind of goes over the page to continue more, another little swallow there. And then I made a pocket on the side, and this is just some nice like botanical with black background, and I added this card inside. It's Poppy Brand Pears. It's just a little greeting card, and you can use it as a journal card inside here. And then on this side, just this little girl with a kitten in each pocket. And I left the Edith Holden stenciling in the back. Then on this side we have a little pocket that has a poppy here, and it's actually a flip out, and you'll see bumblebee and honeybee and some foliage. Then it's on avocado dyed paper, and this is a collage tag that I made. The fabric matches the binding of the book at the top here. Avocado dyed paper, Victorian address book paper. Then this is stenciling and another little tab with a card on it. More of the Rain's Embrace kit, coffee dyed paper. That's more of that whimsical paper. Stenciling. This is some really fun coffee dyed paper that I crinkled and did a lot of experimentation with. And then this is a pocket. It's just this big brown pocket, and I made this from multiple vintage books, and then added this kind of plate in the center of this saint. And inside is just a botanically dyed paper tag. So it's just a beautiful piece of paper. I didn't want to do anything to it other than just make a tag out of it. It's watercolor paper, and I added a tab on top, and it just tucks down in here. Sorry, it's its first tuck, retuck. Things kind of loosen up over time, but a brand new journal like this, it's just, everything has just been moved for the very first time since it was glued. And then this is an original book page from the book, and some stenciling. And then this is just a nice linen paper. I just wanted to leave it alone. Stenciling on that side though. And then this is an original book page, and I've rusty paper clipped on this. It's a digital of a guest check with botanicals from my porch prints. Original book page, more of that fun coffee dyed paper. Stenciling. Nice yellow and green. Another of those whimsical pages. This one has a frog riding on a goose into this sort of moon that has hung the stars. It's just pretty. Then that is a little playing card there. And the Rain's Embrace page. Stenciled on back. Victorian address book. And then this Victorian page of a mother and her daughter in a flower garden. I absolutely love this skirt, this dress. And then avocado dyed paper. Then we have a pocket over here. That's another page from the Edith Holden book about stenciling. And then this is just this big tag that I made with this sort of snow queen on it, and it has lots of gold botanicals and lace up top. And that goes in there. It's from a vintage children's book, which I think also has just a really cozy feel. And then this folds out. It says history in back, and then there's botanicals and an Edith Holden bird here. And then on back, some Edith Holden drawings and a little bit about stenciling's history, and a little bit of the fragment of an old stencil from Japan. Then this is the contents page of the original book, and on back has the list of illustrations. And this is stenciled. Then on back, this is another page from the Rain's Embrace, but I've also added another piece of handwritten vintage ephemera. Just this beautiful page it's notes from a book, and it's written in pencil, and it's a very old, it was written probably in like the 1950s. Yeah, so it's nice. And then more of that sparkling paper on the back cover, and then this journal card, but again with the original illustrations on the book's flypaper on the back. And this is the final journal card. It says rainy weather will change soon, and it has a little robin here, and there's sort of a room with a triangular window and a little vase and some lace across it, and I've stitched all around it. So that concludes this cozy journal, and I am reading, or I am talking to you on a rainy morning, a rainy cozy morning here in my studio, and I hope you're having a cozy day and staying safe and warm, and or cold depending on where you are. And so yeah, that is the whole journal, and if you're seeing this video, it will be listed in my Etsy shop. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you around. We have fun here. And you can find all my social media information down below in the description box, including my shop. So until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.